First things first, we have a big announcement. We have rebranded and are now known as the podcast. What do you mean by that? If you've listened to our former show, Dear White Women, you know that what do you mean by that has been one of our favorite questions to use to interrupt people in a healthy way, spur on conversation, and cue ourselves to listen better. So what better way to expand the conversations we get to have on the show that'll help all of us be better people than to tap into that sort of energy? So here's the situation. Dear White Women started all the way back in April 2019, so over 6 years ago, as the result of two of us hosts, both biracial, Japanese, and white best friends of several decades, who regularly discuss the reality of the world for our very multi-ethnic children. My kids, I'm Sarah, are with my white Canadian husband, and people presume all the time that they are white Americans.
And this is me, Sasha, and my kids are with my Black American husband. And while they're Black, Japanese, and white, people assume they're Black. And while we raise them to be proud of all aspects of themselves, we saw and regularly saw the assumptions that were being made by others around them as to who they were. Now, at the same time, by virtue of who we are, nebulously ethnic women living in California and Colorado, we would find ourselves in rooms full of white women. And as a result, we'd get to hear three things: what was said, what was not being said, and perhaps most importantly, and the least discussed, what was being said when people thought there were no people of color in the room. So with all the power that white women have in our country, we thought, what if we were to help expand the narrative in those spaces so that they could begin to listen, learn, and take different actions that would shape our workplaces, schools, and communities in ways that were broader than the narrow dominant narrative that has been taught to all of us about our incredibly diverse country for so long.
So, as long distance best friends do, we stuck a mic in front of our faces and thought that maybe we'd have 5 listeners, all obviously just related to us. Lo and behold, 6 years later, we have had hundreds of thousands of downloads, a published book, multiple speaking opportunities, and learned, and quite frankly, keep learning a ton. But why now? So enter our 47th president and the dramatic pushback to DEI we see in our society, right? A complete about face since the murder of George Floyd back in 2020, which is sad but not surprising, you know. And in this time period, it made us think.
Because our purpose is to help our society realize that it's really all of us or none of us. That a world that is good for those who are most systematically oppressed ends up being a world that's good for all of us. After over 270 episodes, we realized that saying all of us actually also means talking to all of us. Along with that, the more we've learned, the more we've also come to understand just how intertwined the systems are that hold us together and keep us apart. This is why we are excited to rebrand here in mid-2025, over 6 years after we started, in a way that allows us to have even wider ranging conversations than before. We want to be able to ask, what do you mean by that? Of so many topics and people.
Now, this is a show dedicated to helping folks talk smarter and think deeper about the world around us, even when information is flying at us at warp speed. We will not let the fire hose overwhelm us. So whether it's about science, history, current events, social justice, or more, our community consists of people who want to be better humans. And we want to explore all the conversations in a succinct way so we can really cut to the chase and help us all be better together to benefit all of us.
And additionally, to be able to really fight for all of us, we need to keep getting into the rooms where it happens. And where we are in terms of the weaponization of DEI in 2025 is very different from where we were when we started this podcast, what feels like centuries, but was really over 6 years ago. We're committed to getting in front of groups of people, large and small, and keep having the conversations and asking the questions that gets us all louder for each other. If this resonates with you, please reach out. We're booking for the fall and winter of 2025 now and would love to chat. Whether it's about our 2 talks about why belonging still matters, or how to have difficult conversations, or about something even more customized to your organization. Because we can't wait to keep asking along with you, what do you mean by that?
And secondly, so that's our rebrand, and we're very excited for it. To introduce the kickoff for our summer series, which starts with our next episode, we're going to be focusing this summer on how to be a better human. We're interviewing experts on how to listen better, how to practice the science of kindness, how to improve your critical thinking skills, how to build trust to avoid the politics of divisions based on, this is going to be fun, a conversation with one of the lead editors of the World Happiness Report. We'll talk about how to be a better Democrat and, just in time for the end of summer, how to be better at resting without hiding.
So let us know what you'd like us to ask about in the future as we head into the fall and winter. I can't even believe I said that because we just talked about the summer. But anyway, as we head into the fall and winter, check out our new site at whatdoyoumeanbythat.com or email at hello@whatdoyoumeanbythat.com.
You've been listening to What Do You Mean By That? A show dedicated to being better humans and getting loud for all of us. Hat tip to Sarah's daughter for the logo, and huge thanks to Misasha's son for our incredible theme music. Find out more and subscribe to our newsletter at whatdoyoumeanbythat.com, because as always, it's all of us or it's none of us.